2 months ago, astronomers detected something unusual entering our solar system. A massive object, first spotted out near the orbit of Jupiter, appeared to be heading inward at extraordinary speed, nearly 60 kilometers per second, making it the fastest interstellar visitor ever detected. News of the discovery immediately sparked speculation. Was this an unusually large comet? Or could it be something artificial, even a piece of alien technology? NASA confirmed the object's detection, but provided little information at first, prompting questions and viral headlines. Among the most widely cited voices was Avi Loeb, a controversial but high-profile Harvard astrophysicist. Within 2 weeks of the detection, Loeb co-authored a paper exploring whether the object, which has been designated 3I/Atlas, could be alien in origin, possibly even hostile. The claim was more nuanced than many headlines suggested, but the speculation quickly took on a life of its own. The object's name tells part of the story. It was first observed on the 1st of July by NASA's Atlas survey station in Chile, part of a global network of telescopes that scan the sky for asteroids and comets. The 3I refers to the fact that this is only the third interstellar object ever confirmed to pass through our solar system. The first, discovered in 2017, was the cigar-shaped body Oumuamua, which also generated widespread debate about its possible origins. At the moment of its discovery, 3I/Atlas was about 4.5 astronomical units from the Sun, roughly the distance of Jupiter's orbit on a trajectory toward the inner planets. For astronomers, it was a rare opportunity, a months-long window to study an interstellar object before it reached its closest approach. Teams around the world quickly pointed their telescopes at the visitor to estimate its size, speed, and path. The paper by Loeb and his colleagues, published on the 17th of July, poured fuel on the public's imagination. The authors mapped out the object's trajectory and noted that it would pass unusually close to several inner planets, including Mars and Venus. They argued that its path was strangely well aligned with the ecliptic plane of the solar system, the flat, disk-like region where most planets orbit the Sun. For a natural body, they calculated the odds of this precise alignment were about 1 in 500. That degree of alignment, they suggested, would be ideal for a spacecraft attempting to enter orbit around the Sun. They went even further, estimating that an optimal Earth intercept would occur in late November or early December of this year. Loeb emphasized in interviews that he wasn't claiming the object was alien, only that such a possibility should be kept on the table. But the nuance of his position was quickly lost, as social media amplified the most sensational interpretation. A Harvard astronomer thinks an alien probe might be heading for Earth. Initial size estimates added to the drama. Based on its brightness, the object was calculated to be about 11 kilometers wide, nearly 100 times larger than Oumuamua, and comparable to the asteroid that caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. With that kind of scale, it wasn't hard for news outlets and content creators to frame the story as potentially catastrophic. By late July, interest peaked when NASA aimed the Hubble Space Telescope at the object. The resulting images showed a faint coma, a hazy cloud of gas and dust, surrounding the body, along with what appeared to be a small tail, the signature feature of a comet. This seemed to point toward a natural origin. However, there were also oddities. Hubble appeared to capture an anti-tail, a stream of material pointing toward the Sun instead of away from it, and the amount of dust being shed looked surprisingly low compared to typical comets. Loeb seized on this evidence, arguing that the lack of a clear solar-driven tail left open the possibility that the object was not a comet at all. Around the same time, other observatories, including the James Webb Space Telescope, detected that the coma contained an unusually large amount of carbon dioxide extending hundreds of thousands of kilometers, while water vapor appeared either absent or present only in very small amounts. This was highly atypical. Comets from our own solar system usually release water vapor as they approach the Sun. When asked directly at that point what he thought the odds were that 3I/Atlas was alien, Loeb reportedly replied, 60%. Whether he was speaking literally or rhetorically, the quote spread widely. Many people began to believe a Harvard scientist had effectively confirmed an alien probe was entering the solar system. Meanwhile, the object's path never brought it especially close to Earth. Even at its nearest approach, it would remain about 1.8 astronomical units away, nearly twice the distance from Earth to the Sun. Still, public interest surged. Loeb became the face of 3I/Atlas in the media, giving interviews and explaining his position, while amateur astronomers and enthusiasts tracked the object's every move online. As the months went on and more data was gathered, a clearer picture began to emerge. The object was indeed on a hyperbolic orbit, confirming it had come from outside the solar system. Its inclination to the ecliptic plane was unusual, but not unheard of, and its trajectory showed no evidence of slowing down or maneuvering. No flashing lights, no course corrections, no deliberate behavior. In other words, the hallmarks of a spacecraft simply weren't there. Hubble and ground-based telescopes continued to track the coma and tail. By late August, observations from Gemini South in Chile showed the tail lengthening and the coma expanding, classic cometary behavior. The initial size estimate of 11 kilometers turned out to have been misleading, because it had included the brightness of the surrounding coma. Removing that contribution suggested the nucleus was only about 5 kilometers across, perhaps even smaller. The composition remained striking. The coma was dominated by carbon dioxide, with only a trace of water vapor. This pointed to an origin far from the warm inner regions of its home star system, in a region cold enough for CO2 to freeze onto the surface. Such comets may simply be rare among those we've observed so far. The unusual chemistry did not imply propulsion, nor did it point to artificiality. Despite the mounting evidence that 3I/Atlas was simply a comet, rumors online grew more dramatic. Some YouTube channels claimed there were 9 hidden objects escorting it through the solar system. Others asserted it was on a collision course with Mars, or that it was firing nuclear magnetic power at the Sun and weakening Earth's magnetic shield. None of these claims were supported by data. One of the most common misconceptions was about the object's speed and trajectory. Because 3I/Atlas was moving at around 130,000 miles per hour, some people assumed it was headed directly for Earth. In reality, interstellar objects naturally speed up as they fall toward the Sun, and then slow down as they leave. Its path through the solar system never intersected Earth's orbit. Another frequent claim was that the object was producing its own light, something comets don't do. This was also incorrect. The coma appears bright because dust and gas are excited by sunlight. It's a basic and well-understood process. Some commentators pointed to the large CO2 cloud as evidence of propulsion, noting that carbon dioxide is used as a propellant on Earth. But cometary outgassing produces small natural accelerations that are easily distinguishable from controlled thrust. If this were a propulsion system, it would be extremely inefficient. Nothing like what one would expect from an advanced spacecraft. So why do these stories persist? Part of the answer lies with A.V. Loeb himself. Loeb has long argued that the scientific community is too quick to dismiss the alien hypothesis, as he believes may have happened with Oumuamua. His approach is to keep that possibility on the table, until evidence rules it out. In a purely scientific sense, this is not unreasonable. Hypotheses should be considered and tested, but in today's media environment, nuance is often lost. Headlines like Harvard physicist believes interstellar object is a hostile alien spacecraft generate clicks but misrepresent the underlying research. The result is that millions of people have been led to believe that an alien spacecraft is flying through our solar system, when the evidence points overwhelmingly to a natural origin. This isn't because Loeb is deliberately misleading anyone. It's a consequence of how speculation spreads and is amplified by social media and online content. As 3I/Atlas continues its journey past the inner planets and back out into interstellar space, it's worth keeping this in mind. Many predictions have been made about what it might do, slowing down, hiding behind the Sun, approaching Earth. When those things don't happen, it's an opportunity to re-examine how such claims spread in the first place. As of now, 3I/Atlas appears to be an interstellar comet, with unusual chemistry, not a hostile alien craft. It's a fascinating object that can teach us about how other star systems form and evolve, but not a sign of imminent contact or invasion.